Hey everybody, in this video I'm going to walk you through the steps for the lesson 61-55 assignment. And so I am going to start by going to part 4, opening up unit 13, and then I'll open up lesson 61. I'm then going to make sure to read the 61E advanced formatting. And so it tells you that whenever you see the 20 with 2 red lines, you're going to type the current year in black. And this is just because, the years change. Because we're in 2025, when you see this, you'll type in 2025. Also, if you see this vertical red line, you're just going to press enter if you see that. This is your paragraph symbol, indicating that you need to start a brand new paragraph. Also, your lines are going to wrap automatically as you type, and I'll explain that as I'm showing you how to complete this assignment. Also, you'll notice in your e-text, you're going to see URS in lowercase letters at the end of certain documents. This indicates that you need to type your own initials in lowercase. Okay, and it says in black, no periods or spaces. So for me, my first and last name is Terry Ann Brown, so I would type a lowercase tb at the end where I see this URS. Okay, if we have any tables, they need to be centered, and if necessary, we would remove any borders from our tables if instructed to do so. And so let's get started with 61-55. On the left side, we have the instructions. So it says to turn to page 237 in your e-text, and then we'll review the document that we need to type, following the steps to complete our work. Okay, it also reminds you to type your own reference initials using just your first and last initials only. So they should only be 2 letters. If you have a hyphenated last name, such as Santos Rivera, you would use S for your last name initial. The first thing you always do is to click on the Start from Scratch button. And as I had sent out in an email a few times in the past couple weeks, you need to have the desktop version of Microsoft Word installed on your computer. Okay, if you have Google Docs or the Mac version or Word Online, it is not going to be compatible with this class, and so you need to withdraw from the class or purchase a PC with the desktop version of Microsoft Word, or you need to enroll in the section that has the in-person classes each Tuesday. But I believe the UH Hilo bookstore, as well as HCC's Learning Center, also has computers with Microsoft Word installed. Okay, and so once you click on that Start from Scratch button, you should see it in your downloads. So I'm going to open that up in Microsoft Word. In addition, I'm also going to make sure that I have my e-textbook open. And it did say page 237. And so this is 61-55. And so we'll be typing this letter out according to the format in Reference Manual R-3A. If you read through the e-text as well, so I'm just going to go back one page. This tells you the same thing that was on the previous page in GDP. So once you open up your Microsoft Word document, you'll click Enable Editing. And although, again, it's a blank document, you need to open it up from GDP and not from your own computer. You always have to use the link in here because it's formatted a certain way, and the file document properties are also specific to you using this GDP program. And according to Reference Manual R-3A, remember that you always start by pressing enter 5 times. So I'm going to press enter 5 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll then type in the date of June 3rd, 2025, and then I'll press enter 4 times, 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is where I'll be typing the inside address, so Mr. Andres Macias. And I'm double checking my spelling. One thing you'll notice that as I type this, I didn't type in any unnecessary spaces after the words or press tab unnecessarily. If you do that, and I'm going to turn my paragraph marks on so you can see this, if for whatever reason you press your space bar or you press tab at the end, GDP will mark you incorrect. And this is because we're trying to teach you proper typing and formatting techniques. And unnecessarily typing, extra spaces or tabs unnecessarily is just a bad habit that we want to make sure that you don't do when you start this class. Okay, so after the inside address, remember that according to the reference manual R-3A, and I've pulled it up here, you'll press enter twice, type in the salutation, press enter twice, and so forth. So although this letter is formatted like this, remember, proper business letter and block style needs to be formatted in this way. Okay, so I'm going to press enter twice. I'll then type in the salutation, Dear Mr. Macias. I'll press enter twice again, and then I'm going to go ahead and type out the paragraphs. Okay, so I've typed the 3 paragraphs. I'm going to press enter twice before I type my closing, which is sincerely yours. I'll then press enter 4 times, so 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll type in Alice Kearns or Carnes. Her title, which is Product Development Manager. And then again, notice that we have this red URS. Those are your own reference initials, so I'll press enter twice and type my own reference initials. So yours are going to be specific to your first and last name initials. Notice that it is in lowercase TB. Make sure that you do proofread, and I'm going to intentionally put some errors in here so you can see what happens when we submit this. So let's say I had unnecessarily pressed my space bar at the end of the paragraphs here. And let's say that I had also misspelled something. So instead of Carnes, I typed in Kearns. And what if I also forgot to type in yours after sincerely? So the first thing that you would do, well, hopefully you would proofread it, make sure there are no errors. You'll then save it, and then you're going to go back to your GDP window. Okay, so I'll go to my lessons. And so now that I've worked on it, I'm in step 2, which is to upload and save a file. So I'll click in this area here. I'm then going to go to my downloads, Or actually, I think I should double check to see where it had automatically saved. So I'm going to open this up. I'll do a save as. I'll click on downloads just to make sure that it is in my downloads. Okay, so again, I'll go to upload and save a file. And so it might be a good idea if you save your files to a flash drive. That way it's all on one place. But for me, here's my file. I'll click on open. It tells me that I've successfully uploaded it. So now I can go to step 3, which is to submit your work. And it should take less than a minute for it to automatically grade. This took not very long at all. And so if we take a look at this box here, so anything in light gray would be an error. Also, if it's correct, it'll just be black text, such as this. Other errors would be in blue, green, or red. So I'm going to scroll down here and let's see if I can see my errors. The first thing that we'll notice is that software, because I had pressed the space bar after software, this counts as a misstroke, which is incorrect. Okay, so I'll make a mental note of that, or you can manually go up to your document and fix that mistake. I'll then scroll down and see if there's any other errors. Again, here's another misstroke. Remember, I had unnecessarily pressed my space bar. Okay, and here is an omission error. So I did not put in the word organizing. That's an omission error. So I'll type in the word organizing. And then here are 2 other words that weren't in. So I know your expertise will prove to be invaluable. Also, there's an extra space after consideration. Okay, again, I didn't insert the word yours after sincerely, and Kearns was misspelled. Okay, so I would make those corrections here. I'll save it. And then I'm going to go back to step 2 to upload my corrected file. And then I'll click Submit Work again. And so it says that there weren't any keystroking errors, nor were there any formatting alerts. Okay, but I'm going to show you what happens if you didn't properly format it. So not properly type it, but let's say you forgot to press enter 5 times at the top, and maybe you only pressed enter 2 times after sincerely yours. So if I were to upload that file where the text is correct but the formats are incorrect, okay, notice that all of these enters here are indicating that we didn't type it in. Same thing for this one here. So just be very careful because you are graded on your errors. If you take a look at the course syllabus, the only way that you can get a 100% for your assignment is if you have 0 errors on your first attempt. If you submit it 2, 3, or even 10 times before you get 100%, your score can only be as high as an 85%. So it's very important that you proofread your work. before you submit your assignments. Okay, and so that was 61-55. In the next video, I'll show you how to complete assignment 61-56.